Wait. Sorry I'm late. Crazed Collector from Super Monster City, where we keep ephemera, we keep memory, and we keep nostalgia alive. We all had this amazing life behind us, some of us more years than many. So I'm here to tell you about some of my great memories and some of the ephemera, which means the stuff that nobody else kept, or the stuff that got lost to the sands of time and the winds of history. Back when I was a kid, there was a nostalgia craze. This is long before computers, VCRs, anything like that. There was only 3 channels on TV. And there was a thing in Minneapolis, Minnesota called the Xanadu Film Festival. And every Friday and Saturday night, they would show old movies on 16 millimeter film. And that's how a lot of my film history was like stamp etched into the softness of my brain. But here's a couple of my favorites, like Humphrey Bogart in The Big Sleep, and the next week, The Maltese Falcon. Oh, here's Alec Guinness in The Lavender Hill Mob and Charlie Chaplin in A Gold Rush. What a double feature. And wait, here's another one I want to show you. Some of my favorites I pulled out. Sabotage and Saboteur, both by Alfred Hitchcock. Back in the day, these used to be shown in a church basement, and these 2 film collectors would show them, and you'd pay $1 to get into this. And there's Sahara with Humphrey Bogart. There's Prisoner of Zenda, one of my all-time favorite swashbucklers, with the velvet-voiced Ronald Colman. And then down here, they showed everything. Captain Marvel, the whole stinking serial, 15 chapters. And then sometimes they just go all out and just show Orson Welles' Citizen Kane. This is where I learned my film history, long before Turner Classic Movies, long before any of that stuff came into the light. There was church basements filled with clickety-click 16 millimeter film, and that's where I learned. Repulsion, if you haven't seen one, this is a pretty nightmarish film about losing your mind. I happened to stumble across this earlier, and I apologize for not giving credit where credit is due. When we started Super Monster City, we were looking for posters for our first exhibit, and university students were asked to create a poster for monsters, superheroes, and villains, and I thought this was a pretty cool one, and I somehow kept the beta test. But wait, there's more. My father worked in a television station, and my mom knew people who worked in other television stations, and so I would get the monster 8x10s that were shipped to the television station. There's Frankenstein, monster. There's a Kong. I think I might have bought that one because they knew I loved King Kong. And then here is, there's Karloff, you know, pretty darn good, in Frankenstein 1970. If you've ever seen it, it seems like a real... Anyway, we were excited. And then there's the Haunted Strangler. I always like that one. Plus, I got 2 more things I discovered in the pile down there that you might not have ever heard of, that I didn't know existed. Here's a book by Johny Weismuller, who was the Tarzan through the 30s and 40s. He was an Olympic film star. I bought this book at a random book stall in London on the Thames. And it's, who knows if Johny Weismuller really wrote it, but it's all about how his style of swimming was like beyond anything that had ever happened before. There's Johny Weismuller with all his trophies. And let's see when this came out. I should have told it. This came out in 1930. Who knows how many more of these copies are left in the world. Have you ever seen it? Pretty exciting. Plus, I found another thing. If you've been watching Super Monster City, you know I'm a big fan of Perry Mason, right? Well, here's a really interesting first edition I found by Earl Stanley Gardner. And it's called, it's called Over the Hump by Earl Stanley Gardner. And this is a first edition from, 1945. I haven't read it yet. I'm too busy looking at all this other crap. If you know anything about this, if you like Perry Mason, call me, check on it. Ask me questions. I want to know things, and I want to know what you know, because I can't know everything, and I don't pretend to, and I make up a lot of crap, and there you go. Super Monster City, as my friends will tell you, is where memory goes. It's where we thrive to keep memory and nostalgia alive so that nobody forgets. Isn't that right? They really couldn't speak. They don't have any tongues. So I better get going. Enjoy the day. Enjoy your memories. Share your memories. Tell the people in your life what was important to you when you were young. Thanks. See ya. Bye.